welcome back to my channel. This video is one I have been dying to film. You guys know how much I love highlighter. I think I've been accused of actually wearing too much highlighter on this channel by my friends and family, but honestly I don't care because I like to glow to the gods, and I have a ton of highlighter, so it is my obligation as a citizen to wear as much highlighter as I deem appropriate. So I have a large collection. This is my baby. This is what I have the most of in my makeup collection. I'm going to give you guys a quick overview. This drawer weighs like 800 pounds, so I'm not going to hold it up for much longer, but I know you're curious to see what I have in my stash, so just keep watching. Okay, so looking at all the highlighters in front of me, I honestly don't even know where to start. So I'm just going to close my eyes or look away and just reach for something. And the first highlight I came up with is ColourPop. Now this color is called Highly Wasted. It's part of their Super Shock Cheek collection, and this retails for $8. Now let me give you guys a closer look at this highlight. It's a really beautiful like champagne shade. Kind of reminds me of Champagne Pop just a little bit by Jaclyn Hill, to be honest. But yeah, I've had this highlighter for a while. To be honest, not a huge fan of cream highlighters, so I don't reach for this one very often. But I know a lot of people really like ColourPop highlights, so this one will definitely stay in my collection for years to come. The next highlighter I have is Jeffree Star Cosmetics. This is the shade King Tut, and this is their Skin Frost formula. Now these came out a little while ago, but honestly, probably the biggest single compact highlighter I own. This is huge, and I'm never going to run out of highlighter. It's actually the size of the Wet n Wild highlighter. We'll talk about that later, but yeah, this is a lot of highlighter. Super glowy. It's a very chunky highlighter, so people are going to be able to see you from Mars, Uranus, Venus, Pluto. Everyone's going to see you when you wear this highlighter, and it's beautiful. I believe these were $28, and he restocks them every once in a while, so you're going to have to follow him on Instagram if you want to pick up one of these babies. But I absolutely love this formula, and when I am trying to glow to the gods, this is one I reach for. Next up, I have this one by Hard Candy. This was a gift from my husband. It's actually called a contour kit, which makes no sense to me. This is the shade 3 Times a Lady, available at the drugstore. This is a very affordable highlight. This champagne shade over here is a beautiful highlight, and you can definitely check it out. I have a different one from Hard Candy that I would recommend over this one. But if you are lighter than me, I think this will work really well with your skin. Here's one that I was really excited to pick up. This is the Bobbi Brown Bronze Glow. This came out limited edition in 2014 holiday, I believe, and then it came out in 2015 again, so I had to pick this up because I was so sad that I didn't get it the first time around. Again, this is a beautiful bronze shade, so if you're my skin tone or darker, this is going to totally pop on you. This is the only Bobbi Brown product I own, and I honestly really love it. And as you can tell, it is well loved in my collection as well. Next product I want to talk about is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Illuminating Palette. And this is newly reformulated, so it used to be in the Wet n Wild lineup, and then they came out with it bigger and better. I really like it that there are 4 stripes, so you can use these individually or you can swirl your brush together. I was honestly really obsessed with this highlighter when I first got it, mostly because it's super affordable and it does have really good color payoff for being under like $4 or $5. And there's a ton of products. So if you're a girl on the budget, ain't no shame, girl. Go pick up this Wet n Wild highlighter. Now, if you didn't have a chance to find that one, hopefully you guys can find these ones, because these are possibly the best highlighters in the drugstore for the price point of under $5. These are the Mega Glow highlighting powders in the shade Precious Petals and Crown of My Canopy. These came out this summer, and I first saw Jeffree Star swatch these, and I was like, I need those in my life right now. Now, there's not a whole bunch of product in here, but with highlighter, you don't really need a lot, and the packaging is super cute. So if you're looking for some affordable go-to highlighters this summer, check out these ones from Wet n Wild. Here's one I was not planning on passing up. This is a new release. This is the Jaclyn Hill Champagne Glow Face Palette and her collaboration with Becca Cosmetics. She launched her Prosecco Pop shade in this palette. It's actually this one right here. It's the more goldeny shade in this palette. Now I have Champagne Pop in full size as well, but of course I had to have Prosecco Pop. I will do a full review on this palette soon. I do have a lot of thoughts on that whole collection, the whole split pan like incident, like what was up with that. Let's talk about all of that in a separate video, but overall I'm really glad I got this, and I love Jacqueline, you guys know that. So this is my Champagne Face Glow palette. Next up, I want to talk about this guy. Now, this is the Laura Mercier Highlight number 1. This is a Matte Radiance Baked Powder, which is insane because usually the word matte and highlight don't belong in the same sentence. Now, this is a highlight I go to when I don't want to be accused of wearing too much highlight, because sometimes those girls be hating about your highlight, you know. So I use this one. It is very subtle. I'm actually wearing it in all my newer videos. I put that on because the lights in this room tend to make me look extra glowy, and people think I have oily skin, but I don't. I just have a lot of highlight on. And a couple of times ago I was testing out the Josie Maran Vibrancy Foundation, which is super dewy as well, so that's why I look so dewy in the videos. It's not because I have oily skin, and of course I'm obsessed with highlight. So I've been taking notes and I'm trying to tone it down. So a lot of times now I use the matte highlight from Laura Mercier. This is the only Laura Mercier product I own, and I'm so glad I have this. This is a really pricey highlight, but if you're not into that epic glow, this is a very subtle highlight. And if you're a beginner, you might really enjoy this. Also, the packaging is on fleek with this highlight, and I've heard a lot of YouTubers say that no matter how much they use this, even though they wear this every day, that dome shape really never goes down. So I think I will have this highlight in my collection for a very long time. Okay, I'm going to talk about 2 drugstore highlighting palettes really quick. This is the e.l.f. Illuminating Palette, and this one is called the Total Face Palette. Now, the Illuminating Palette, to be honest, was not my favorite palette from e.l.f. I have the blush palettes too that are $6 from e.l.f. Cosmetics, and those ones blow me away. This one I really rarely reach for, so I think I'm going to pass this palette on to somebody else that's going to show it more love, but I wanted to include this in this video because I do have this palette. The next e.l.f. palette, the Total Face palette, also does have a highlighter. I feel like all these shades could be highlighters, especially if you have a darker skin tone. This one is the highlighter, and then these are like illuminating blushes that I don't actually ever use, but this is kind of a knockoff of like the strobe powders that Hourglass came out with. I don't really have much to say about this because I honestly don't use this very often. It just sits in my highlighter drawer, and I really like the packaging, which is why I bought it, so my bad. And now let's switch back to a really high-end highlighting palette. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Palette. This came out last holiday, I believe, and this was an $80 palette, but I wanted to scoop this up because I've never tried any of the ambient lighting powders, and this palette came with 3. Also, it has one of their illuminating bronzers and 2 blush shades, so I was really excited to try this because I didn't want to buy any of these shades in full size. So I'm glad that I have a palette that all of them are in here. I really do like the Hourglass powders. I really haven't played with this enough to say that it's an absolute must-have, but I'm glad to have this, and I will continue to play with this, and definitely don't regret buying this. It's actually really cute. Did you guys see the new one they're coming out with for this holiday? It's like a marble palette. I might need that, but I'm trying not to buy any more highlight because this girl does not need any more highlight. I am gonna have highlight till I die. It's actually really sad, but anyway, on to the next one. So the next highlighter I have is from Ofra Cosmetics. This is the Blush Stripes Illuminating, that's a weird name, but this was actually from a BoxyCharm, and I've seen Kathleen Lights rave about this highlight. I honestly haven't really dipped into it, but it does look really pretty. This gold shade up here, again, reminds me of like Bronze Gold by Bobbi Brown that's in my collection. Really don't think I've tried this ever, but I do have it. So if you enjoy this highlight, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. Where are all my girls on a budget at? Let me see your hands up. Just kidding. Why do I try to be cool? Because I'm really not cool. Okay, so I really wanted to talk to you guys about this brand. This is Makeup Revolution. You can find it in Ulta. All these highlighters were under $10. This one I believe was $7. And I hear it's a good dupe for the Bobbi Brown shimmer strips. This packaging actually reminds me of the Wet n Wild packaging. Actually, it's like the exact same packaging. That's kind of funny how that works. Do you guys see this? Like, they're identical packaging. Like, even the back. That's so funny how makeup companies do that. But anyway, so this was $7, which is a little more. To be honest, I haven't played with this enough either. I know Kathleen Lights said that she feels like JLo when she wears this highlight, and again, it's only $7. So if you're looking for an affordable highlight, I would definitely recommend this. The other ones I have tried more. This particular shade is one of their Vivid Baked Highlighting Powders in the shade Golden Lights. Now, if you look at this, there's actually a huge dent in this. From a trip to San Francisco. I took this with me when me and 3 of my girlfriends went to San Francisco last year, and everybody loved this highlight. I think all of them actually ended up purchasing this for themselves. They bronzed themselves and highlighted themselves to the gods with this highlight because it's honestly so unique. It has a tint. It's like, it looks really pearly in the pan, but even I can wear this because it has a gold shift to it. Which I think makes it an epic highlight. This was definitely one of the most loved highlights in my collection. So since I love this one so much, I decided to pick this guy up, and this is the Peach Lights highlight. To be honest, I haven't really dipped into this. This is more of a pinky highlight, kind of intimidating. It has like a pink purple shift to it, so I don't know if I'll even enjoy this on my skin tone, but again, so affordable, $6 at Ulta, and sometimes you can get these for buy one, get one half off or for free, I think. So really good deal. If you haven't checked out Makeup Revolution at Ulta, it's a really great brand. I'm going to do a one brand review on all the Makeup Revolution products I have, but since this is my highlight collection video, I definitely had to include these babies for you guys. Next highlighting palette is definitely something you don't want to stray away from. This is the NYX Strobe of Genius highlighting palette. It's a whole palette, contains 7 beautiful highlights, and honestly for $20 you can't find better value. A lot of these shades dupe a lot of really high-end highlighters, so if you are again on a budget, beautiful highlighters, a little bit chunky, but honestly, like, for $20, can you go wrong? You are not going to need another highlighting palette if you get your hands on this, and I totally recommend it. The next one I'm going to talk about to you guys is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea highlighting palette. This is actually the only highlighter I own that I really wouldn't recommend to anyone. It's a shitty highlight. It's $42, way too expensive. I fell for the packaging, which is why I bought it, and I totally regret it. I recently put it in a products I regret buying video. It's just cute to look at, really, really pretty, but honestly, this highlight is definitely nothing to write home about. Next highlight I want to talk to you about is this guy. This is the Lorac Illuminating Highlight in the shade Twilight. Now, this was in a recent favorites video. Love the packaging. This highlight, again, is gonna be kind of like that one you spot from Mars. It's super bright, super great formula, very, very soft and buttery. Actually kind of reminds me of the Lorac eyeshadow formula, but it just works better as a highlight because it's so soft and it really soaks into your skin. I love this highlight, love the packaging. $21, definitely can't go wrong. If you're looking for a small, simple, compact, I would totally recommend checking out this highlight. Another one that I picked up from Ulta is Laura Geller Gilded Honey. Now, this highlight has been around for a hot minute. Everyone went crazy for this when it first came out, mostly because a lot of YouTubers said it reminded them of MAC, Whisper of Guilt, and Estee Lauder Heat Wave. That's what a lot of people said this one reminded them of. This one was well loved in my collection. I don't pull this out enough, so I need to remember to use this more. But if you are looking for a bomb-ass, goldeny, goddessy highlight, definitely check out the Laura Geller Gilded Honey highlight. Okay guys, next highlights I want to talk to you about are of course the Anastasia Glow Kits. I have two of them. I picked these up when they were on sale on Ulta.com. You know when they do 20% off for their platinum members? That's when I picked these up. I really wanted to buy them right away when they came out, but this is my highlight collection. You guys have seen how much highlight I have. I really couldn't justify purchasing these. I will do a full review on them. I know you guys have all seen these highlighting palettes, but I'm just gonna throw them in here really quick. So if you want to take a look at it, here's what they look like. And they've come out with 3 newer palettes since these ones. There's the Moonchild palette, the Candy highlighting palette, and then the other one is called the Sun, something to do with the sun, like Sun Glow or Sun Dipped or something like that. And this is the other one. This is in the kit called Gleam. So the first one was called That Glow, and this one is the Gleam palette. Now, this one is definitely not the colors I would usually gravitate towards, but again, these look so tempting. They're such a good deal, $40 on Ulta, Sephora, I believe sells these, and also on Anastasia's website. Again, I'm going to do a separate review, swatches, and everything on these palettes. I'm going to tell you if they're worth the hype, especially if you have my skin tone. So I will get to filming that at some point here, but these are a part of my highlight collection as well. Okay guys, we're almost to the end. I have the ones I'm going to talk about next and then one more palette, and then we are done with my highlighter collection. No highlighter collection would be complete without me talking about some Becca highlights. Now I know I already showed you guys the champagne palette, the Face Glow palette. But I also have basically almost all of their singles. I've at one point owned all of them, I think, except for like Bronze Glow, because I just knew that wouldn't work with my face. And of course, here is my Champagne Pop single. Love this highlight. Literally just gasped. Jacqueline did such a wonderful job creating this. The next one is Topaz. Honestly, an amazing highlight if you even have a darker skin tone than me. I think this one is a little too dark for me as a highlight, but at the time it came out, I got really excited about it. So shit, you know, can blame me for trying. And then this next one is the shade Opal. Really beautiful. So when I hold them like this, you can see the difference in the shades. Champagne is definitely more of a rosy gold color, and then this one is more of a pearly champagne, also a champagne shade, but I feel like this one's more rosy. And then this last one I have is called Rose Gold, also a super beautiful highlight. To be honest, these don't get enough love from me anymore just because I have so many other highlights. So I think I need to make it my goal for 2016 to give these Becca highlighters a lot of love, because I feel like these were the original highlighters before everyone started making them. Becca was doing it first, and I just think these are all beautiful. They work on my skin tone. If you have a lighter skin tone, you probably want to look at Moonstone, I believe, which is the lighter highlight. You probably can't wear Opal. Probably want to go with Moonstone. I've heard Champagne Pop is also too dark for some really pale people, but I know when Jacqueline talked about Champagne Pop, when she first designed it, she said she made it for girls with pale skin like her sister who is super pale. So I feel like if you're pale, you should be able to wear this, but I've heard that it's not the most flattering either on pale skin. Now these ones pack a pretty penny. They're $38, but honestly, if you're gonna get one highlight, go with Becca. They're the OG, and you won't be disappointed by this formula one bit. Okay guys, last highlighter palette that I wanted to talk to you about is my newest highlighting palette, and this is from the brand Sleek. Now this is a UK brand, so I had to order this on Amazon. I got pretty lucky and I decided to look it up on Amazon for some reason, and I saw it and I bought it because I know Sleek used to ship to the US, but I think there's an ingredient in this palette that isn't like approved, I think, to be sold in the United States, so you can't get this shipped to you on the Sleek website anymore. But I snagged it and I am damn proud. So I believe Jaclyn Hill talked about this, and then everyone on YouTube got it. So of course I had to go get it because, you know, I'm a follower like that. So there's a cream highlight, this yellow highlight, and then a purple highlight, and a champagne shade highlight. These are the swatches on my fingers. I'm going to go ahead and swatch this on my hand really quick. So that's what they look like, very pigmented. It's the highlight I have on right now. I'm wearing the champagne-y color, this one right here. So far I really like this palette. I haven't played with it enough, but it's definitely a bam highlight. So if you're looking for something, you might have to do a little bit of digging to find this one, but it's pretty affordable, so I would totally recommend looking it up on Amazon. It's an awesome highlight. Okay guys, the last thing I wanted to show you in this video are some of my favorite highlighting brushes. Now, of course, no highlight video is complete without the tools that we use to highlight. So these are mostly all Morphe. This one is the M310 brush. It's a fan brush and it's really great for your highlight because it's very diffuse, so it doesn't put too much product on. This next one is the M501 brush, which is also a really great one for highlight. M510 is one that is used by a lot of YouTubers, so like Jeffree Star, Manny uses this one. I think even Nikki Tutorials uses this one. So all of these are Morphe and super affordable. Honestly, highlight works so much better when you have the right brush, so I would totally recommend picking one of these up. If you don't want to order online, you can walk into your Sephora store and pick up this Sephora brush, which is a Pro Contour brush in the number 79. I actually recently saw Amarizi Ambra on, I don't know if she's on YouTube, to be honest. I follow her on Snapchat, and I saw her using this to highlight with, and that girl highlights to the gods. So any of these brushes I would totally recommend for highlighter. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed checking out my highlighter collection. I love collection videos in particular because I am so nosy and I love to see what's in people's collections. I'm definitely not trying to brag, so please don't be mad at me for having this much highlight. Definitely spent all my money on these highlights. They were not sent to me. These are all my own opinions and thoughts. If I ever get sent anything, I will let you guys know, but I haven't hit that point yet where I'm getting free product by any means. This is all my hard-earned money. I love highlight. It's definitely trending right now. Everyone is obsessed with highlight, and I don't think it's going to slow down anytime soon. So if you have any questions on my highlights or any questions on which ones I would recommend, totally leave them down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!